For the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, and this is to do with the reports that are doing the rounds that a senior US Admiral is actually on a surprise visit to Taiwan. If confirmed, this could of course lead to further escalation of tensions with Beijing. Now, according to reports that have emerged in Reuters, the visiting Admiral is Michael Studeman. He's said to be a two-star Navy Admiral who oversees the US military intelligence in the Indo-Pacific region. The Pentagon, for its part, at this point of time, has declined to comment on these reports. So has Taiwan's defense ministry. But the foreign ministry in Taiwan has confirmed that a US official did arrive in Taiwan on Sunday. But it has not confirmed whether this US official is indeed the Rear Admiral Michael Studeman or not. Military experts say that such a visit is almost unprecedented. Now, Studeman could be amongst the top-ranked military officials to visit Taiwan in recent years. Now, adding to the speculation, the Taiwanese news agencies have published pictures of an unmarked private jet arriving at the Taipei airport. Now, the Taiwanese officials were reportedly present to welcome the dignitary on board, and China, interestingly, is yet to react to this development. Last time a senior US official had visited the island, Beijing had condemned it in no uncertain terms. It remains to be seen whether this visit by Studeman will also be perceived as an escalation by Beijing. All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what's actually happening with this visit in Taiwan, you're joined by Nicola Smith, who's an Asia correspondent for The Telegraph. She's joining us live from Taipei City. Nicola, let me begin by asking you this question. This visit is happening in a very hush-hush kind of a way. It's said to be a very senior admiral, naval admiral of the United States who's visiting Taiwan. What's actually playing out here? What is it that we need to read between the lines in terms of the reports that have come out so far?
Well, I don't think it's a surprise that there's high-level interactions between Taiwan and the US. Both are very integral to each other's security in the Indo-Pacific. I think what's more surprising in this case is that it has somehow been made public. I think we can safely assume that there have been high-level visits in the past, but they've never been made known. And as you said in your reporting, the Pentagon has not confirmed it, and neither has Taiwan's Ministry of Defense. So the question is more, why has this become public? Because that then provokes China into having to make some kind of reaction. Otherwise, I think Beijing would also have remained quiet about it.
Absolutely. At this point of time, the Taiwanese have also not in any way given out the details as to who may have actually come for a visit, although there are reports that are doing the round that it is this very senior admiral of the US Navy who is visiting Taiwan. Do you think this was something that was done very deliberately by the Taiwanese?
I wouldn't want to make that assumption at all. I mean, I think Taiwan has been very cautious in its public dealings with the US. It values a strong relationship with the US, but it also knows that Beijing is very sensitive about it. And I think President Tsai Ing-wen has walked a very careful line in terms of what she says publicly and Taiwan's public support of more engagement with the US, and also not wanting to rile China in any way. I don't think it's in anyone's interests for the rhetoric to escalate.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, Donald Trump is pretty much in the last few weeks of his presidency. Joe Biden is expected to take charge on the 20th of January. We expect that there will be a change in policy in how Donald Trump has been dealing with China and how Joe Biden is expected to deal with China. And what we have also been witnessing over the last few weeks and months is that the United States under Trump has been strengthening its relationship with Taiwan. Is now Trump, with these overtures, actually handing over a hot potato to Joe Biden to deal with when he takes charge?
I think there's definitely a sense of nervousness over what President Trump might do before he leaves office, whether he might stoke tensions further intentionally or unintentionally with China to make some kind of statement. But I don't think there's going to be a massive change when Joe Biden takes over in terms of taking a very firm stance against Chinese assertiveness in the region and also Chinese threats against Taiwan. I think generally the US is going to remain a strong partner of Taiwan. And also, given how aggressive China has been around the region towards India, also towards Australia, in the South China Sea, I don't think we're going to see a massive change in how the US deals with Beijing, but I do think there will be a more careful approach to make sure that the choices that are made are more strategic and not seen to be needlessly provocative.
So at this point of time, looking at it immediately, the presence of this senior naval admiral of the United States, how do you see this going forward? Will it, of course, will it lead to an escalation of tensions? How is Beijing likely to react here?
It's a bit unclear how Beijing is going to react. They've already issued a statement with their usual strong language condemning any kind of relations between Taiwan and the US and any connections or visits with senior officials. So that's to be expected. They have implied that there will be consequences, but they haven't given any details on that. And really, they also made threats against Boeing and against other companies over arms sales, and we haven't actually seen any action. It's all been very strong rhetoric, and they haven't escalated in other ways. So I personally think that this will die down, that it's completely normal to have interactions between the US security officials and Taiwanese security officials, and that it will be business as usual.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Nicholas Smith, for joining us and getting us all those updates then.